Good morning, everybody. My name's Keegan. Welcome to back to the channel. Today's going to be kind of a catch-up day for me in the garage. I'm going to split this mold we finally made for the Subaru project. I'm going to pull the trans out of that spare car over there. But mostly for the Z, it's a prep day. I plan on driving at iTrack Motorsports on the 10th, so we're going to change the trans fluid on the Drummick TKX. It's loud and whiny right now, so hopefully that first break-in fluid change will kind of dumb it down a little bit. And then we do need to address an oil leak. I believe it's coming from the starter crank sensor, but we will confirm it. So this was supposed to be, 6-bolt, three over here. I welded these in and the extra 2 bolts, so I guess it'd be an 8-bolt job, 9 with the sensor itself. Has now turned into removing the passenger header so I can back the starter out, and then while I'll loosen it, see if I can kind of wiggle it out, and then just take a grinder to this part of the flange, see if that'll give us enough clearance. That's the current situation. Alrighty, so back there is the sensor. I did the 10 mil. I'm about to take it off, but with the light you can kind of see how it's just seeping everywhere around that area. So we're gonna pull that sensor now. Sadly, I don't have enough hands to keep it on, but I'll just turn the camera right back on. So I wanted to put RTD on this, but I don't really think that's a good idea. And the way the sensor is this part is flat against the block. That's why that plate's there. So I'm gonna dip the cutoff wheel right in these little channels and make another section for another O-ring to sit and still be flush. Solution. Let's see if I can line it up with the light. But just a little bit wider and just where it'll sit against the block, should be good to go. It's another day. The Z transmission has been dropped. Boy Josh came by. While that did fix the cam sensor from leaking down the side of the oil pan, pretty sure the good old main bearing will do it. Or not the main bearing, the main seal in the back. This is just oil everywhere, and we will get it taken care of. Remove the rear cover plate, and this old gasket for the oil passage up top is just absolutely cooked. So I'm gonna put super thin RTV on the sides of this one, so it's still thinner than the gasket, because this one the rubber actually protrudes through the sides versus this one that is actually smaller. But that's the issue. Main seal wasn't even really leaking, but we're just gonna do it while we're here and get her all buttoned up. Alrighty, just another view of what kind of happened. So this is the oil passage up here, and it was just puking down the sides. You can kind of see, because the bottom of this was relatively dry, but definitely like all of that's wet. So that's why it was getting up on the starter, and that's why it was coming down right down the side of the block. But this is kind of an overall view. Make sure you scrape off that old gasket, and I am going to put RTV on the outer portions of the seal, but I'm going to leave the rubber alone. While we're in here, we're going to be doing the barbell upgrade too, so I just put a rag down to kind of keep debris out from the oil pan. I dropped the drill bit in there just to get a pilot hole, started with a house screw, and then I'm going to use the pliers and just kind of gently pull it out. It was definitely bottomed all the way in. She's out, and you can kind of see how much beefier the aluminum one is versus the plastic one, and it even comes with a little, so next time this ever has to come out, it's threaded. You pulled a bolt in there instead of adding one yourself. This one's plastic. It definitely feels a little like I pulled it out and it cracked somewhere, but it wasn't too bad. But she's out. For the seal itself, I just used a flathead. There's 3 little indents. You just dipped in there, turn, and it eventually popped it out. And then wiped it down real good, sprayed it with blade cleaner. It's supposed to go in dry. The new seal, at least this one's labeled this side out, and we're gonna leave the inside. It's kind of like a little alignment tool, make sure nothing bad happens. And I'm personally going to put RTV in a real thin layer around the outside of both sides of this, and then we're gonna get it installed.